what are some of the impacts of a neglectful childhood, let's say from the mother perspective, how is
Mm.
it impacting adults with their relationships, either with people or either romantic relationships?
Well, if you're not taught how to love yourself, then you don't know how to kind of demand that from the other relationships in your life. You don't know how to set that standard. And often it's the way that your mother has tried to show love or has not shown love is kind of what you think is normal and what feels safe. It's what's familiar. So if you're with a mother that's very critical, it may be that you get into lots of relationships with people who make you feel like you're not enough because that's familiar. If somebody praises you, it can feel really uncomfortable if you haven't been taught how to accept that. If you haven't been taught that you're worthy of it, if you have been taught and that you are only worthy of love if you're being useful, then it's likely that you're going to attract somebody who wants to take advantage of that. It affects everything, and a lot of it's about if you will attract the kind of opposite to what you're giving. So if you have low self-worth, you're going to attract somebody who maybe has high self-worth, but okay, the best way to explain this is there's a spiritual teacher called Anita Majoni who I absolutely adore. And if you haven't heard of her, go and check her out. She had a near-death experience. She's phenomenal. But she talks about we're all born with 100% ego, and she means self-worth, not being egoic, and 100% conscious awareness, that empathy and connection. But when we're highly sensitive, and particularly if you've been brought up in an environment where you've had to be highly sensitive to keep yourself safe, quite often the self-worth has got knocked down because you're told you're too sensitive, you're too this, you're too that. Then you get the converse, which is people who their self-conscious, that conscious awareness for some reason has gone down, but you tend to then attract each other like magnets. So they want you to take care of them. They want to take advantage of your empathy and your that strong conscious awareness. And because you have low self-worth, they can. Yeah. So they want that from you, and you go to them because you feel like your worth comes from fixing people. So you go to the people who want fixing. They want a crutch and you're too willing to be a crutch. And you will find it in all areas of life. I did it in my work, I did it in relationships, I did it in friendships, and the only way that you can stop that is to start working on building up your sense of self, building up your sense of worth, really starting to honor and love who you are. And then those people are no longer attracted to you. In fact, they'll not like you one bit. So it's about trying to flip that. But if you haven't, as a child, been made to feel safe, been made to feel seen and heard, and that you matter, it means that you will look for that external validation, that external sources of safety, that external, but you won't know what that looks like in a healthy way. So that's why you can end up in all sorts of ways. There's so many different ways that can go. Um, but it's always looking for all those things, safety externally, looking for, somebody to make you feel that you matter. But a lot of the times we do it through people pleasing, through like laying down and just giving and giving and giving. Um, and handing over our sovereignty over ourselves to somebody else in the hope that they'll make us feel safe instead of realizing it's all here, it's all within, you've got it all. Just nobody's ever shown you it. And it's
When I
having
look at,
that compassion, isn't it? It's like I
you're
just did
right.
it. I did a video yesterday about, you hear everybody saying you just need to love yourself more, but please be kind and gentle to yourself because if your mother or father or whoever it was didn't show you how to love yourself, how are you going to know how to love yourself? It's just not that simple. And it's having that patience and compassion for yourself. that usually the people I work with have in spades for everybody else, but not for themselves. And it's bringing it back into you and yourself.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I asked someone that question not too long ago, whereas I just asked them like, how do you want to be loved? And they're listing these things. I was like, well, that involves other people. They're like, well, I like to do this for that person, do this for that person. I was
Mm,
like, okay, so take away all those people. Are you saying that your life is void of love? And they took a moment back and they're like, oh, I was like, it starts with you. Like, if you don't know how to
mm,
love yourself, then you won't be able to communicate to someone else how you
mm.
want them to love you. Where do you think the gap is when it comes to people who are so caught up maybe in people pleasing that they can tell you the different ways that they loved everyone else or shown love or shown friendship or whatever, but when you ask them how they show it to themselves, they have no answer.
They just don't feel worthy of it. Like nobody has ever shown them that they're worthy of it simply because they exist. They think they have to be or do something to be loved because that's all they've ever been shown. When really, I think your number one job as a mother, as a father, is to show your child that it doesn't matter what you do. I've got you. I love you. You will always be safe with me. Even when you royally mess it up, I'm right here.